All right, I have been thinking about putting something new up, and it's all about right time and right place for me, which is also how I approach record collecting. Um, and I'm actually about to go to the record store to do some trading and selling, but I have about 10 minutes before I do that, and thought kind of spontaneously I would try to show 10 records in 10 minutes. Stuff that has entered the collection recently that I've been enjoying. At this point, I'll never catch up, right? But thought I would at least show a handful of things that I've been excited about, and didn't even have time to put music on, but I don't want to get a copyright strike anyway. So, in no particular order, really just the order that I pulled all these things in. How about this? The new Paul McCartney, Boys of Dungeon Lane. I probably have not heard a new Paul McCartney record in 10, 15 years. That Starbucks one, I think, was the last one I heard. Memory something. As I'm sure I've mentioned before, I never talk about the Beatles because what is there to say about them at this point? But I do enjoy the Beatles. I grew up with the Beatles. The solo ventures I never got super deep into, but saw him on SNL play one of the songs off of this and enjoyed it, and then gave a listen to it, and I think it fucking rocks. The opening song, As You Lie There, is so impressive for a guy of Paul McCartney's sort of stature and status as a rock god. An amazing opening track. I really like Ripples in a Pond. I like Down South a lot. Is it maybe Salesman Saint? That's kind of that weird, kind of dark country one. But yeah, this is the Target version that comes with a whole bunch of cool stuff. This is the lyric booklet. Cat's freaking out. It's got the postcard with it as well. The custom inner, red vinyl, as most Target records are. And then I was able to find these separately. These indie record store listening party, this postcard set. I actually have an extra one of these. If anyone needs one, just reach out and I can send it your way. But yeah, I really can't believe how much I've been loving this record, just as someone who's, pretty casual Paul solo fan. And I've probably only ever owned one or two of his records in the past, so hopefully we'll change that at some point. This is a iconic record that I just never got around to until recently. Billy Cobham with Spectrum. This thing is fucking magnificent. Some cheap heat on this one. I just never heard it. I've been hearing good things about the reissue and had sort of had my eye on it, but I got this OG pretty cheap. And this record's fucking crazy. It's so good. I had a like an 80s record by Billy Cobham that I did not enjoy quite as much as this. This is good shit. I know I don't need to tell the jazz people that, but yeah, I prefer the freakier end of jazz most of the time, as we'll talk about later in this video, and that is a great example of it. It's funky, but there's some also real far out there shit on it that I really enjoy. Rat, Dancing Undercover. Still working on getting back the OG Rat stuff. Obviously, this one is not in the greatest shape in the world, but I got for dirt cheap off of Marketplace. And just to have it back in the collection is nice to have. So, filling out the Rat collection with there. A lot of people say this is their favorite Rat record. I still kind of can't get past Out of the Cellar, but, those first five, take your pick, really. This is something I've been looking for a very long time. Never sought it out online, but was hoping one day I would just find it in the wild, and I did. This is the Planet P project with Pink World. This is the promo pink vinyl version. This is Tony Carey of, was he Genesis? One of those prog guys. But yeah, I saw Wes showed this in a old video forever ago, and had always been keeping my eye out for it, had only ever seen the black vinyl, and finally got the pink vinyl version. Not as rare as maybe I once thought, or it's, certainly not as expensive as I once thought, but got that for super cheap at a fest, and was very happy to add that to the collection. Some prog action, looking for the Kayaks pressing of the first record. Speaking of freaky jazz, the greatest jazz album ever recorded, in my opinion. John Coltrane's Ascension. This is the new Verve double LP reissue that contains both versions. Brilliant, 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 brilliant fucking music. It sounds great. I know there is some mixed reviews on the Verve reissues and certain series and certain titles. I was certainly pleased with this one. It's got an insert double LP black wax. It's just the type of stuff I love the most when it comes to jazz, and had been, waiting for a nice repackaged reissue with both versions of Ascension. I know there was a CD one that's been out for a while, and I was maybe gonna just get that, but ended up getting that new vinyl one once that came out. Back in the collection after a long time, this is Dead Body, the Requiem. This is some grind-influenced hardcore from the Van Nuys, California area. Members of Twitching Tongues, God's Hate, many other bands. I like this record. I kind of try to collect everything that the Young Brothers do. I just, at some point I was doing a purge and this record fell into it, but I was able to get a new copy for like half price and had to do it. And it's a great record. It's, it's just very short. It's like 18 minutes, 8 songs, something like that. So it should employ a lot of replay value, but for whatever reason, it just got added to a stack. And a lot of times lately when I'm trading and selling things, it's stuff that I know will be easy to get back, and this record was one of them, as was this next record, The Fix, Reach the Beach. I feel like I've seen this record for way too much money being sold in the last handful of years. Like, people thinking this is like a $20 record. I would never pay $20 for this record. I never did pay $20 for this record originally, nor did I this time, just waiting for the right version. But super, super clean copy, club press. Forgot how great this record was. I actually picked up another Fix record that I neglected to pull, but one of the later ones after this, Walkabout, I think it's called. Underrated synth pop band. There's actually some kind of dark, kind of post-punky stuff too on the second side, like the title track, that I'd forgotten about. Obviously, 80s heads know all about this, but nice to have that back in the collection. I will be doing a Kiss vinyl collection video soon. I really went down the rabbit hole again over the last few months, got a bunch of weird, crazy Kiss vinyl, and I do want to show it all off in a video. It will just take a long time, and I have not had the stamina or the attention span or the desire to make that video, but I want to talk about this record for a specific reason. This is the new Unplugged reissue for the 30th anniversary. Nothing, if you own the black vinyl from 2014, you get a little bit extra with the embossed cover and the colored vinyl. But if you're not a colored vinyl person, then there's really nothing much. The poster is not foil; it's the same. But the color vinyl looks nice, and I try to pick up these KOL anniversary editions when I can, because they used to sell out very quickly. Now it seems like they are producing more. But I have my Anaheim vinyl on pre-order, so I'll get that whenever it comes out. I think 8/21 I think is the release date on that. But anyway, so with all the hubbub about the MTV Unplugged Kiss anniversary / reissue, it made me want to hunt this record down on vinyl, which has always been a grail of mine, and ended up finding one listing on eBay that was already pretty low below market, and I shot my shot and put in an offer for it and got it even more below market. And then it arrived slightly damaged, and the seller did me good and gave me a partial refund on it. So I got it even below market after that. This is the Record Store Day exclusive REM Unplugged 4LP 1991-2001. I think I probably still have the CD of this somewhere. But yeah, I've just been wanting the vinyl for so long. It's always been so expensive to get secondhand. I feel like it wasn't for a little bit, but you know, as most collectors' items do, you know, it appreciates in value over time. But really nice kind of quadruple fold-out 4LP set. The 1991 Unplugged and the 2001 Unplugged for Out of Time and Reveal. Great set. And as you guys know from my Murmur Than Hell days, you know, REM, Kiss, two of the most important bands of my musical collection. I have downsized my REM collection quite a bit in exchange for some more Kiss stuff. There was a lot of REM stuff I had, like the UK 12 inches and a lot of cassettes and some like CD singles and stuff. You know, I used to go about REM the way I go about Kiss now, where kind of anytime I would see something I didn't have, I would pick it up. And most of my REM stuff is still in a box in my storage unit because it's so many like CDs and those deluxe packaging CDs and all that stuff I'm going to keep. I just don't really have room for it in here. And I have a vinyl copy of every REM album. So, you know, a lot of that stuff doesn't need to take up space in here at this time. But because of that kind of out of sight, out of mind thing, I ended up purging a lot of that stuff. But I still got some cool pieces, and I'll probably do a collection update at some point once I'm able to get a hold of that stuff again. But yeah, I had been waiting for this for a long time, so it's kind of nice that it just worked out. After the Kiss Unplugged came out, I was able to hunt down the REM Unplugged. And last but not least, double dipped on a record that might be surprising to some that I am into, but the new Gracie Abrams, Daughter from Hell. I love Gracie Abrams a lot, and it's mostly because her songwriting really reminds me of and reflects the type of songwriting that I was doing at her age. And so there is a lot of sort of nostalgia about her music, even though, you know, it's 2024, 2026 pop music. There's a lot of nostalgia that reminds me of being an emotional person in high school and college and writing about, you know, being in love and shit. I think for the most part, the criticisms about her music are valid, and you know, the nepotism thing I don't really care about. As long as the music is good, you know, you can be whoever you want. But I'm not going to argue with anybody that thinks it's boring or that thinks it's derivative or think it's just a Taylor Swift clone. And, you know, I get all of those things. Me personally, I enjoy the songs. I enjoy the emotions behind the songs. Yeah, I just think it's talented. And frankly, I think musically, a lot of the stuff is more interesting than, you know, some of the more middle of the road Taylor Swift stuff. I think she has a better grasp on hooks and engaging songs than, you know, some of the Taylor Swift, you know, Tortured Poets and you know, kind of stuff from that era, which is, you know, kind of a direct influence on Gracie's sound. But anyway, this is the indie exclusive version on the blue vinyl, and this came with a whole bunch of cool stuff for the listening party. We got the slip mat in there. There's also a postcard that comes with this. Like I said, it's on blue wax. Was the postcard in here maybe? I don't know. Oh yeah, here it is. Postcard. Yep, indie blue vinyl. And my initial gut reaction is I was gonna get the listening party stuff and then maybe sell the vinyl so I didn't end up with two copies. But these two copies are different enough And again, I love her, and I like this record a lot. I've only listened to it once, so I can't say I like it more than Secret of Us, but there's still a lot about it that I really enjoy. But I also got the Target version. But this has an alternate cover, alternate back cover, alternate gatefold. Comes with a poster that is not included in the regular vinyl. This one is on red vinyl, again, for Target. They call it brick, so it's a little bit more kind of red-orange than the typical Target red vinyl. It also has a bonus track on the final side that is not on the original vinyl. So, different elements enough where, I'm justifying it for myself. There's a third cover variant that's like an online exclusive. I don't see myself picking that up, but anyway, I was only going to go 10. I went 15. That means it's time to go. Goodbye.